I want to address something. I will be editing and probably posting this while I'm in New York. I leave tomorrow my house at 4 a.m. It's currently 10:20, so being a little naughty and staying up late, but you know, something's got to happen for the content. Who's going to provide this premium content if not for me? We are reviewing dashcam clips today. If you want to submit yours for review, form is down below with all the info in the submission form, hence the form. Let's just get into the video. Let's do it. The one thing I got to ask, am I allowed to wear a Dodgers hat in New York, or am I going to get like jumped? I guess we'll find out. This is going live Thursday, so if I get jumped, it's been great. So I probably won't. I can't fight. Like, look at these arms. You know, I can bench 235, not to flex, but I can't fight. So I might just not wear this. We'll see. Let's get in the video. Here is our first clip. Driving down. It's an exit for a highway. Okay, and the car in front swerves. Doesn't crash miraculously, but this is a very important lesson we can draw here. There's a common phrase that goes, a good driver rarely misses an exit, and a bad driver never misses an exit. Basically, and this works in reverse too, I'm going to explain. Basically, when you are trying to make an exit last minute, or in this case, get out of an exit, anytime you're dealing with an exit and a fast moving, this is kind of like a highway here, bad drivers will always make sure, no matter what cost, that if they need to last minute switch on or off the exit, that they do so, okay? But a good driver says, hey, if I make the mistake, if I go on the wrong exit or whatever, I'm just going to live with it because it's better safe than sorry. And this clearly up here is a bad driver. As you can see, last minute swerve, incredibly close. When you are making an exit, if you just accidentally get in the wrong exit, or if you're trying to get your exit but you can't in time safely, just miss it. I don't care if it adds 30 minutes to your commute. The amount of crashes I've seen, and this is lucky that this is not a crash, but the amount of crashes I've seen because of stuff like this with people trying to make their exits or, you know, swerving out of an exit last second is incredible. It is such an easy cause for a crash. So just at all costs, avoid making these last minute switches in and out, and you'll be safe. Thank you for the cam driver for uploading this example. This is actually a great clip to learn from and something I haven't talked about yet. Be careful. Next up, we got this clip from Derp Zombie. That's the name they gave me. I'm a little skeptical of how this is going to turn out just from your filming setup here. I do believe it's possible to download these dashcam clips as an MP4, but I'm not going to judge, and I appreciate you for submitting your entry. Let's have a look. Okay, adjust it. Okay, and this is also brought to us in 24p, but the camera quality is clear at least. Driving, and that car starts to go, and holy T-bone. Wow. This is a classic example of the two-gap trap that I talked about 2 videos ago, I think, at this point. And it's basically that this Audi station wagon here has left a gap for this Acura SUV. I think this is Acura. And this Acura SUV just assumes that this gap that applies to this lane also is safe for this lane. Either they just assumed it or they thought they checked both lanes but didn't accurately do it. But basically, this gap left by the first Audi here gives a false sense of security that this second lane will also have a gap waiting for them. And unfortunately, as you can see, that is just not true. So if you're the driver here with a gap open for you, either pull up and stop right here and then have a look at the second gap here and wait until it's safe to do so to make that cross, or just don't go until it is wide open, clear, both these lanes, just as long as you don't just assume this one gap applies to both lanes. Obviously, huge negligence here. You just sent it and crash. Now, what could the cam driver have done? There is something that the cam driver could have done to easily prevent this. If you're the cam driver in this situation, when you see a gap on the lane left to you, and you know that there is a perpendicular road, there's a crossroad here, alarms, this right here, this car gap, should be playing sirens in your head, because this is what will happen. Basically, anytime you're on a 2-lane on each side road and there is a gap next to you, just play ultra defensively. This happens more than you think, and this could easily have prevented this T-bone. I hope everyone's okay. Okay, we have our next clip here. Let's have a look. Not the best video quality, but it's all good. You can see my face clearly. That's all that matters. Okay, icy roads. Okay, looks like he starts to fishtail here. Oh, wow. Okay, center median. Looks like he's handling this okay, actually. And complete spin out, and he stops. Okay. Now, I actually read the comment that the user submitted with this, and it was his friend, and his friend was driving a front-wheel drive car and apparently lightly tapped on the brakes, went on this ice, and then lost control. First of all, great job on the following distance. This looks like a pretty solid following distance, so nothing wrong there. But you want to be incredibly careful with your inputs of your car when you're on ice. So you should try and just be rolling as much as you can. Be very gentle with the wheel and try to minimize like slamming on the brakes or tapping on the brakes even, or hitting the gas. Just be extremely gentle with inputs and minimize them if you can, and just roll as much as you can. Because if you're rolling, there's not really any way you can, well, it's very rare. It's very hard to lose traction if there's no throttle, brake, or steering input and you're just rolling. So in the brake input, get some fishtailing. Now, the one thing he does do good, I think, from what I can tell, is he gently steers into the direction that his tail is sliding out. And that's what you want to do. Not super hard, but gently steer into it to try and correct the turn. Looks like he's trying to do that here from what I can tell. Fish tails out and eventually stopped. No crash, thankfully. The other good thing that I think other drivers did here is that they clearly let off when they saw him fishtailing. So as you can see, he does a complete spin out in both lanes. And when he turns around at the end, the cars are way in the distance. That's really good. As soon as you see someone at all starting to lose traction, don't try and gun it past them to, get out of their way. Just brake and give them as much space as possible. Throw on your hazards if you have to. Very well done by the drivers here. Okay, this is unique. We are in a townhouse complex here, which is interesting. I wonder what happened here. Rolling through, he's going slow, which is good. Always, especially, it looks like there's kids and people around. Especially in these types of complexes, always just go incredibly slow. Like a kid on a scooter. Like this guy's going at great speed. Oh, okay. So first of all, the cam car, there's literally nothing they could have done wrong here. This is not what I want to touch on. The cam car is perfect, going super slow, being super careful of hazards. And thank goodness they're doing so, because if they were going any faster, could have easily mauled this kid over. And that's just a general lesson. Anytime kids are present, just assume they are as dumb as possible, because they most likely are. Never ever in school zones, in neighborhoods with kids present, ever speed. You don't understand how clueless these kids are with the danger of motor vehicles, okay? And if our cam car wasn't going like absolutely slow, this would have easily mauled this kid over, like easily. Especially in a cul-de-sac, like what's the rush? I get it if you're on a highway. I think it's actually perfectly fine to push on the highway, but in like a small townhouse area or like a cul-de-sac or a side street with a lot of family homes, what's the point of ripping, dude? What's your rush? Because you won't get anywhere any faster. You'll still have to stop at stop signs, etc. And then you'll prevent stuff like a potential bike on car T-bone happening here. So that's what you can do as a car. Just go as slow. This is the cam car's doing perfect. Here's my issue. First of all, if you're the parent of this kid, okay, I don't want to parent for you. And I sound like actually I'm bringing this word back from like 2019 when it's popular. I sound like a Karen. Get your kid a helmet and some lights. You do have to claim some responsibility as a parent if your kid is ripping around with no helmet and has no concept of cars. I get it, kids are dumb, which is exactly why you as the parent have to claim responsibility for this. I know I'm getting off topic from driving, but seriously. And the other thing I want to say, and this is kind of an unrelated, it's a little bit related, but this is the only time I see this fit. If you're riding a bicycle, wear a helmet. Here's my little side rant about cyclists that don't wear helmets. Why are you doing it? Okay. You know a helmet will save you from brain damage, from potential death. Why not just wear one? You don't, I actually think you look cooler with a helmet biking than without. A lot of people try and not wear one to look cool. Like, it's a bicycle. Stop trying to sit on your bicycle, like gaining aura. Like you're riding a bike. Not saying biking is embarrassing. I think biking's great, but like, that's not what you should be worried about when you're riding a bicycle. And then on top of that, I think if you ride a bicycle with no helmet, you just look like too tryhardish and dumb. Whereas if you're wearing a helmet, it's just like, okay, that's a respectable person that's probably in shape and understands that the bicycle is a good, efficient, cheap mode of transportation. I'm not trying to use this kid as an example because it's clearly like a 8-year-old kid, but that's just my side rant. I didn't see another place I could put that in. So yeah, this could have easily been a crash and a bad one at that, even if it was low speed. If the cam car is going a bit faster, that would have knocked this kid over with no helmet. So just in these slow residential areas, just go hyper slow, okay? Don't be in a rush here. Take those do not speed kids playing signs. Take those seriously and you'll be okay. Thank you for submitting this clip. This was a great example to learn from. We are going to be doing this as a new series. I'm still going to sprinkle in some tier lists, but I want to do a lot more of these because these are so helpful and such great content. If you want to submit your clips, I will be dropping episodes super often on these, so submit them in the form below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.